It is time. It is time. It is time. It is time. You know him by many faces. You've seen him in many roles, and together he returns to help revive the fifth dimension. Everyone, please welcome the man, the myth, the legend himself. Everyone, put your hands together for Ben Diskin! How you doing today, good sir?
Hello. Hi. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Hi, how you doing? Good to see you, man.
Oh, it's good to see you as always, man. How have you been?
I've been doing pretty good, man. How about yourself? Congratulations on launching the new VTuber model, dude.
Yo, thank you. Like, let me tell you, like I'm just gonna get, like, before I get into the man introduction and shooting this shit a little bit. Yo, I've been putting this together for months. You wouldn't believe, and I was stressing up and putting last things together up until the 11th hour before I went live with this thing. And I was like, oh, it's gonna fall apart. Oh, it's good. This stream is gonna be ass. Oh, this, like, it's not gonna do well. Oh, all this stuff. And thankfully, my computer hasn't exploded, and I haven't burst into flames. So yeah, it's good. It's good.
So basically, what is it like now, man, to be able to make videos and not have to give a crap about what you look like? Because now you got a beautiful 3D model of yourself. How's things been? How's that for your self-esteem? You can fall out of bed and just be like, yo, what's up? I'm ready to entertain people, and I don't got to shower or nothing.
Hey, whoa. I mean, I always shower, but it's nice being able to, like, you know, roll up to the seat and not wear pants. And what but I am wearing shorts because I usually never wear shorts because, like, my legs get, like, really hairy at times. I'm like, listen, pants for me. But no, it's nice. I don't even have my hair up. I didn't put any product in my hair. It's just like, I'm chilling.
That's the life. That's awesome.
Right? Like, I love putting gel in my hair. I love styling it up. But there are times where just like, nah, man, I have to breathe for a little bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me give, because every time I bring someone onto the fifth dimension, and every time I bring someone onto my stream, I have to do a bit of an introduction. So, Ben Diskin has an illustrious career in acting and voice acting. You've known him from many roles over the years. Some of my favorites I'm just going to list off the bat is, of course, Haida from Regretsko, Young Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts. He was also #1, #2 from Codename Kiss Next Door, Joseph Joestar from JoJo's, and very recently, I like to say it, you've been quite a busy bee this year, and like it dawns upon me because, like, even like Rebirth is still my game of the year, but it keeps reminding me that this game did come out this year, just like really early this year. So
like February, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, that's wild. So I'm gonna lead up into that, where this year he has been in the role of the aliens, the Serporians. That's how you say them in Dandadan.
Serporians, yeah.
Yeah, Serporians in Dandadan, and then of course you have to tell me if I can tell the story, but we'll get to that at that point. You are also Black Doom in Shadow Generations. Hello.
That's right. Great to be here.
That's insane. Oh my god. Like, I'm telling you right now, I did not like. And this is nothing against any voice actor, and this is not anything against your talent. It's just that I feel like at points I'm like, oh yeah, that's Ben. In Black Doom, I got nothing from that. I'm like, I saw the credits, and I'm like, Ben's in this? What do you mean? And then, yeah, that's the rest of the story. And then, of course, one of my key favorites, key being the operative word, is Young Xehanort in Kingdom Hearts. And then, of course, when I first heard this man open his mouth, because he was a character established in a previous game, but then he was Man of Mystery in Rebirth, and people were asking if he was going to show up in Rebirth, and he did. And when he started talking, that's right, Ben Diskin is the voice of Gleen Lodbrok. What? That's crazy.
I've been keeping busy. It's been okay.
I'm so happy for you. Like, just, oh man, keep work. I love it.
Oh, thanks, dude.
But so the one thing I want to, because in the Discord, I make sure of this, and then obviously we'll just move on. Do you think it's possible for me to tell the story like when obviously it was before release, and I was able to get these games due to pre-release copies and whatnot that was provided by Square Enix and Sega. But can I tell the stories like, wait a minute, bro? And I just text you like, dude, or do you think we should not?
I don't think we should.
Gotcha.
No.
All right. Yeah. Moving on. Of course. But I just want to touch base a little bit on each role and how you came to find their voices and give them their voices when it comes to these constantly iconic characters that you bring to life. So first,
well, I mean, we can do that.
Okay.
Just so you know, and so that the viewers are not confused.
Oh yes, of course.
The voice acting union SAG-AFTRA, we are currently on strike against video games. So there are certain games where I just kind of can't talk about it because that would be promotion. And we're not allowed to do that. So if I'm like, hey, yeah, I got a great story. Anyway, and I cut you off like a jerk.
Right.
I'm really sorry.
Oh no,
it's nothing personal. Just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, of course. So would just to make sure, would Glenn and Black Doom be off the table?
Okay, so Black Doom is totally fine. Doom, that game was produced under an interim agreement, which means they basically looked at the stuff that SAG-AFTRA put out there and they were like, yeah, that's cool. We're good with that. And they signed a contract legally binding them to that. So they're cool.
Okay.
The Final Fantasy Part 7, that's a bit of a murky thing.
All right.
It's murky. Yeah.
If you don't want to explain it,
I have no clue.
Okay. All right.
So basically, hi, I'm here to say nothing about nothing. What a great stream. What a great guest.
Oh, man, yo, we have plenty to talk about, man.
Okay, good.
Of course. So with that being said, let's talk about Black Doom for a little bit, and then we'll just go off into the sunset. So Black Doom. Obviously, there's a lot of people that know this character, and this character has been much more famous throughout the years when it comes to leading up to Shadow Generations, the Year of Shadow, and of course Sonic the Movie 3, which just came out, and I'm telling y'all right now, it is a stellar. Yes. Oh my! Did you see it?
God.
Did you see it?
Yes.
Oh, wasn't it good? Wait.
So good.
All right, no spoilers.
Bro, no spoilers.
Yeah.
But oh my God, because I watched the first movie, I was like, that was fun. I watched the second movie, I was like, yeah, this is an improvement. This one is like heads and tails above both of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Way good.
Really
solid movie.
I kept telling people that Sonic 3, not taking nothing away from Sonic 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
Sonic 3 is such a drastic improvement, it's staggering.
Yes.
So that's crazy. So going into that whole light, Black Doom. So where have you begun in terms of portraying this character? Because this character was portrayed previously by Sean Shamel. So how did you bring life to this character that made him your own, as well as throwing everyone for a loop? Because that's crazy. Your portrayal was so on point that when I found out that was you, that's insane.
Yeah, no, this was one of those things where they I have no idea why decisions get made, but they were I think they were like, we have a new cast, we want to see if there's anybody else for this character. Sean was allowed to re-audition, which was kind of one of my conditions for working on this. Was
okay, that's really cool.
Still had a shot. Yes, so I guess they were just like, no, we want to take it in a slightly different direction. And they went with a new actor, and that wound up being me. The whole process, I got real lucky, because if you there's a video online, and it's just sort of a compilation of all of the lines that Sean had to record for the original Shadow the Hedgehog, just one after the other, and that video is probably over an hour in length. If you take all of my lines and put them together, it's 5 minutes. It's not that bad. That voice for Black Doom is one of the most vocally destructive voices you can do for long periods of time.
I can imagine.
Even Sean, mother effing Goku, was like, yeah, this wrecked me. So I was like, oh wow, I just have to come in and do a way shorter session than he has to. Thank effing God. So that's why I can still talk. But like, yeah, it's an insane process to just get to see it, because I got to like see different aspects of like the various radical highways during their development phase, so we would know where this line is going to show up during the segment and make sure it all strings together properly. And it was just really fun. And the guys who work on this stuff, they're super cool. We have like the Japanese producers like on the line listening to it and giving feedback and direction of their own. And so it's sort of like, it's just a really fun collaborative experience to just bring the devil, basically, Space Devil, to life. And it's just really cool.
Hey, Shadow, it's me, the devil. The devil. I love those videos.
Convince you to do sin.
Oh my God, you guys heard it here. Oh, that's so cool. So like, I actually want to touch upon that like as a cool segue to talk about other aspects and whatnot, because going to that place in your voice is like very, very straining. So there's like a kind of a twofold question. So the first part is, if anyone is like, trying to get into this type of like, a voice act, or does, fan voice acting to reach that spot. Obviously reaching it is one thing, but then maintaining it. Do you do any type of practices, like, or any type of regimens in terms of like, because I've interviewed not so long, that was years ago, what am I saying? The voice actor for Trunks and also Chris Sabat in terms of doing their screaming roles in Dragon Ball, and they're like, oh, drink a lot of tea. So do you do anything similar to that?
So for a long time, the answer was no. I just show up and destroy myself. Now that I'm in my 40s, apparently, you can't keep doing that forever. So yeah, nowadays what I do is I have like an entire regiment of like vocal warm-ups that was taught to me by my throat doctor, who basically like scoped my throat, because I thought I absolutely destroyed my voice on a previous role, not Black Doom.
Okay.
And it turns out I was fine. I just basically pulled a muscle, but they were like, all right, let me teach you some techniques. And so for like on my way to every session now, for like 3 minutes in the car, I'm like humming. So it's like, it's like the most annoying sound ever, but thankfully I'm alone in my car. Or going for like, again, 3 minutes. And then just, yeah, you drown yourself in water, like lukewarm, just like room temp water, just guzzling it between every line. Because if you don't, yeah, you can kind of wear out the treads on your voice, and after a while you just can't keep doing it. And then there's like, I mean, one of the reasons why this particular voice is so bad is because it's basically two vocally stressful things combined together. So most people are like, oh, screaming, yeah, that's really vocally stressful, that's really hard to do for a long period of time. The other thing that's like basically a second place and a close second to that is a harsh whisper. So like, hey, how's it going? That's fine.
Right.
Like, hey, how's it going? Jeez. That does the same level of like stress, almost the same level as a full-blown scream. And then there's another thing which people tell you not to do, which is harsh throat clearing. So not but that sort of stuff. They say don't do that. So
really?
This is basically
doing a harsh whisper while clearing your voice.
It's doing both of those at the same time. So it's like, if you do that for like a long period of time, oh boy, it don't matter how much training you got, you're just gonna just shred yourself. So for stuff like that, what I do is I will deliberately have like as much dairy as I possibly can.
Okay.
So, which is normally you shouldn't do that because it makes you sound all like gunky, but the gunk kind of helps in your throat, and it's sort of let the milk and the cream from the coffee take as much of the punishment as you possibly can. So like, yeah, definitely don't do that voice for a long period of time. If it's just a quick little like line or two, you'll be okay. But if it's like hours of doing that, oof, yikes.
That's crazy, because like I wonder how Paul St. Peter does it. That's and he does a lot of he does a lot of gravelly voices. So now to the second point of the question, in terms of the characters that you play, like a broad set of characters. I mean, you are no stranger to playing heroes, but as of late, you've been playing a lot, and I mean a lot of dark characters. In that sense, how do you find the place or the mental placement that you need in order to portray these characters? And because you do it infinitely well. So like, where do you search for like a type of role? Do you search for a type of mindset that you see in like movies or video games, or something you come up with when it comes to portraying these darker characters?
I think it's kind of like a combination of both, because like, you know, everybody has that side of them that's like that's not so nice, you know,
Right.
as to straight up steal from Batman the Animated Series, the brighter the picture, the darker the negative, right? Well, I've got what I would consider to be a pretty bright picture. I'm a pretty nice guy, but my bad side is not so nice, and so I have like all sorts of just pent up anger because I'd normally have no reason to express it. So I'm just like, ooh, I could just channel this into playing horrible characters. Hooray! So it's like it winds up serving its own purpose, and voice acting becomes kind of like a great safe way to just let out any kind of anger or frustration. And then yeah, there are definitely characters. You see something in a character and you go, I don't want to just duplicate that character, but I like this aspect of them. I like the way they approach this line delivery. I really like that. I want to see if I can work something like that into my own repertoire. So yeah, it's sort of what comes from within and what you see. It's nature versus nurture. You know what I mean? It's both of them at the same time.
Gotcha. Wow, that's really, really cool. And I'm like, because I feel that, you know, if you don't find a good place to draw the energy needed for a type of character, they end up feeling a bit more manufactured, right? And I speak for myself. I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody else like here that like we do not get that from you like at all from any role you've ever done, you know. But here's another quick question, because I'm like, you know, trying to see what I can load up into the barrel before I like, you know,
before you shoot me out of the sun?
No, before I blow my brains out. Like, no. So, oh, here's the thing. We talked about this the last time we met. Going forward, because when it comes to interactions that you have with fans, followers, both in real life and online and whatnot, what would you say is some of your most popular portrayals that people constantly was like, oh my god, you were this, you were that? So it's like, do you have a couple of stories? Because I remember the story you told me last time that, yeah, you know, Joseph Joestar, that's the one a lot of people look at. So do you want to like touch upon that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's still Joseph Joestar. I still
Yeah.
It's also Bon from a show called Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, I would say those are my two big guys. And then it's sort of like, boy, let me tell you something. When you do this long enough, it gets weird. Because like, it used to be everybody just knew me as that kid who did number 1 and number 2 from Kids Next Door. Nowadays, people come up to me and they go, you were in that show? And I'm like, yeah, that's what everybody knows me from. You don't know that? And they're like, I didn't know that at all. And I'm like, oh, weird. So now it's like, now there's like a new generation who has never even heard of that show and doesn't care. So it's like, it's one of those. Yeah, it's so strange. It's like, boy, you talk about feeling your age, where it's like, I was in something that your older brother watched before you were born. And they're like, okay, that's great, mister. Anyway, can you sign this picture of the aliens from Dawn to Dawn? And I'm like, yeah, okay, sure.
I could just imagine where it's like cartoons. Man, who watches that stuff and as they like pull up Skibbity Toilet or something? And I'm like, are you serious? So like, it's funny. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you know I found out much later in my life that I can absolutely like, yeah, number 1. But then when I found out that you also voiced number 2 way later after the fact that I knew you voiced number 1. Now correct me if I'm wrong. Cartoon Network shows never really had like voice credits in the credits, right? Because it was always just like, okay, program's over, here comes the Powerpuff Girls, right? Because
usually, so they did, but they probably squished it, and it would have been like at the bottom of the screen while you're premiering something else. Because I think they have to credit everybody. But yeah, it was. I mean, like, and also they were creative with our credits. It was really cool. They instead of calling us the voice actors, it was like vocal assault. For like, and they had like asked our permission. They were like, you won't be offended if we refer to you guys as vocal assault. And we're like, we scream at the top of our lungs every single session. I think that's pretty appropriate. That's fine. But yeah, no, we got credited, but it was probably like smooshed at the very bottom of the screen.
Because like that, I feel like maybe that could be like a contributor to like, hey, whoa, you were in Kids Next Door. I'm like, yeah, that's number 1. and you'd be like, oh, and number 2. I'm like, whoa, what, number 2? Really? So that's wild. And you've been like, I tried to lean away from saying voice acting as much because y'all are actors, like, let's face it, right? So like, you've been acting for a very, very long time, and then I'm gonna bring up the story because I found this out like way after the fact. My chat brought this up, and look, I'm already forgetting the movie. You were a child actor in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie.
Kindergarten Cop.
Yeah, Kindergarten Cop. And then they pull a picture. I'm like, oh my god, that is wow. So like, you've been acting for like quite a while and whatnot.
Here's the real question:
Yeah.
Was it actually Miko Hughes? Because everybody confuses the two of us. He was the kid who said, "Boys have a penis and girls have a vagina," and people are like, "That's you, right?" And I'm like, "No, that's a completely different human being. I'm actually sitting right next to him in that same shot."
Because they brought me that shot, and I'm like, oh man, and I'm like, yo, what? When have I, like, when was the last time I saw this movie? Because man, that was
right?
No.
Did you know that they made a sequel to it?
I had no idea. It was one of those like direct to DVDs no one ever released.
So.
Ugh. I really hate perfect. Now we're gonna transition over to the next aspect of the chat, and that field is very of the season because it's festive, and then 2 degrees of separation. Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, and then movies that also have a sequel that either no one cared about or no one wanted. Let's talk about our favorite holiday movies. And mine, and I don't know if you ever saw it because I can quote this movie to the ends of the earth, is Jingle All the Way. Have you seen that movie?
I have not seen that movie. I know of it, but I never got a chance to sit down and watch it.
Oh, please do yourself a favor. That movie will change your life.
Really?
Yes. I watch that movie every year with my friends because that movie is great. And it also got a weirdly way after the fact sequel with Larry the Cable Guy produced by WWE, and I'm like,
oh
yeah, yeah. I was like, why are you, huh? And the only thing tying it together was just like the overall premise. So with that being said, what's your favorite holiday movie?
My favorite holiday movie, oh boy. I mean, is it at this point? I feel like saying Die Hard is like a meme at this point. But like, I don't know, probably that. Just because I find it way more interesting than watching Christmas stuff. I get so jaded after a certain point where I'm like,
right,
hi man. If I have to watch one more like holiday special of a TV show, and I can't take it anymore. Like, it's Christmas is everywhere. It's still Halloween. Why are we watching this stuff right now?
Oh, so then I feel you really enjoy Jingle All the Way then, because it's a very cynical movie that also acts as a commentary on Black Friday, the holiday rush, and then parents rushing to get their toy day of, like Christmas Eve. Right. So then it was like I remember it was originally penned in order to portray the madness of. Do you remember the Cabbage Patch craze that happened in the 90s?
The Cabbage Patch. I mean, I remember the Furby craze, but
yeah. Okay,
I could see same idea basically.
Yeah, same idea a couple years before. So that was supposed to be a commentary on that whole perspective. And like, it's a hilarious movie. So before you think it's like, oh, it's festive in the sense of like, oh yes, Christmas is about family. I mean, like, it has that message because it's obviously a Christmas movie, but it's like, man, it's all about the gifts, bro. Like, really.
Hey, at least it's honest then.
Oh yeah, it's mad honest, and I love it every time I see Arnold Schwarzenegger in a comedy role, because in my opinion, he kills it. He just he just brings a certain energy that is not found in other actors when it comes to portraying like comedy in his own brand of comedy.
Absolutely.
So speaking of Christmas, what do you want for Christmas?
What do I want for Christmas? Peace on earth and merriment for all my friends. I don't know. You know what I want? I want a Switch 2. It's not available yet, but I want to get one.
Oh, nice choice. Nice choice. I'm really hoping January, my friend. I think January is when we're gonna finally hear about it, because the Switch. The only thing that I can think of coming to the Switch that everybody has their like eyes on, and I know for a fact that people, and I've seen people complain about this idea, is that Metroid Prime 4 is going to be cross-gen. It's coming out for Switch and Switch 2. All right.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh wait, guys, he's saying definitely. Hold up. Like, are you?
Yes, I know something. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, everyone, get ready.
My industry insight into this game that I'm not on.
No. Everyone, watch Ben Diskin, the voice of Silex, right here. This is a bit. This is a bit. Everyone, please. This is a bit. It's a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh yeah. Switch, man. The Switch 2. Oh God. The Switch is such a. Oh yeah, same. Because like the system is such a like cool concept, and like I hope like a lot of people like I want to hear your perspective on this before we get a certain special something going on. Is that how do you feel on the idea that because this is like the main point of argument right now among Nintendo fans when it comes to the Switch 2. How do you feel on the idea that Nintendo should either maintain its idea of gimmicks and what makes them stand out versus what would work and has been working for them and then play off of that? Because a lot of people are like, oh, Switch is doing so well, just build off of that and continue. But then people are like, oh no, it has to have a gimmick because Nintendo is different and then they need to like not lose their way. Where do you feel on that conversation?
See, the issue with the gimmick stuff is that like sometimes that really sets them apart, and then sometimes it just leads to their downfall.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, like, remember the Wii? I mean, like, that was very gimmicky, and it sold super well, and it was like a huge financial boon for them. But like, as just a gamer, it was kind of like, okay, well, this is weird. I mean, I can play with this, but that's kind of unusual. But it was mostly just casuals, like people like playing, Wii Sports, and they thought that's the Wii. So like, then the Wii U comes out, and they're like, now there's a screen in the controller, and it's like, and what am I supposed to do with this? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that's neat. Okay, I guess I can play Zombie U while like looking at the gamepad.
Oh, Zombie U! Whoa!
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's a comeback, man. It's like it's funny that you brought this up. That there are companies like. And right, Zombie U was Ubisoft, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
That's probably what the U stood for, like dual purpose.
Right. Funny enough. But I feel there was like a lot of games that had that weird, like, okay, this company comes in and develops this premier gimmicky ass title that like, hey,
proof of concept,
yeah, and then
the concept doesn't take off.
it doesn't, and then they put all this money into making the thing. And then the funniest thing is that I keep hearing stories from developers and then people within the industry keep telling me that developing for the Wii U was a nightmare because like up until the Switch, Nintendo always like builds their own machines, build their own like OS, their own proprietary intricacies within the system of itself, and then like it was fine up until like I would say the HD era, and then people are so comfortable like developing for PlayStation, Xbox, which were basically glorified computers, so it's like much easier to develop for. But they go to the Wii U and they're like, you know what, we'll pass. Like.
Yeah. So, and also it wasn't as powerful anyway, so like they would have had to really kill themselves to make a port for it. And also the system wasn't selling well, so it's like, all right, that's like 3 strikes right there, and we're out. And it's like, but like the Switch, right? Like it's different. You could argue that that's a gimmick, the idea of like taking it on the go, but it's a cool gimmick. It's a gimmick that I'm like, you don't have to program for this gimmick. It's just sort of like, oh, you just lift it out of the thing and you're still playing the exact same game that plays the same way it would on the TV. And I'm like, that's something that they don't gotta like leap through hoops to figure out a way of using. They just make a good game. And if the Switch 2 is just the Switch but more powerful, in my opinion, I'm like, hell yeah, that sounds
absolutely
great.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and that's what if the leaks are true, I don't know if they are, but if they are, then like that's exactly what it sounds like it's going to be. It's like better Joy-Cons with no Joy-Con drift and like good like games that look better. And I'm like, okay, that sounds awesome. If it's as powerful as like a PS4 even, I'd be like, that's amazing. That's outstanding. That's especially for like mobile games that's on the go. That's great.
Oh, absolutely. You know, because like we keep on hearing different aspects of like, okay, what kind of chips are they making? What kind of things in production and yada yada yada. And I'm like hoping that like PS4, if it's comparable to PS4, PS4 Pro, I would love that. You know, people it's like, oh man, look at this kitty system. I'm like, man, okay, man, you go enjoy FIFA. I don't care. Like, all right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special guest coming on in. I think we're being invaded by someone who is very much well known to y'all. And let's see if oh shit. all right, you're live. All right. I didn't know it was gonna reset the call or whatnot, but hello, is that the Gamers Joint?
What's going on, fellas?
You got the thunder from down under. Oh my god.
Oh my god, is that Ben?
Hey, what's up, man?
So good to finally talk to you, dude. Like, I think, man, like over the course of time, there was 2 or 3 times you jumped into some of the Keykeeper streams, and it just so happens that I like wasn't there for any of them. So finally,
No, he's still here. He's still real. It's cool.
yeah. Just corridor of darknessing, you know, just casual.
Casual.
So everyone in the chat, please welcome up my boy, my brother, ex-keeper, keykeeper extraordinaire, Kingdom Hearts content. You know him, cynical, the Gamers Joint, Jared!
Hey, what's going on, fellas? And by the way, congrats on the VTuber debut, man. Super cool.
Yeah, when are you gonna do yours?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like it's the wave now, right? I was thinking about maybe like throwing up a Microsoft Paint PNG or something fancy like that, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, yo, if you get something like that, I'll rig it for you.
Yeah, cool, man. Sweet. I'll hit you up if I need it.
Oh, absolutely. So now that the 3 of us are here, let's talk about something very, very specific. And don't worry, Ben, I already know like the pre. Actually, no. I think we should be fine. So, let's talk about Kingdom Hearts as a game really quick in terms of our favorite boss battle.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is perfect because one question that I've been like really wanting to know from Ben, and just like in general for like any of the Kingdom Hearts voice actors, is like overall as an experience, story, gameplay, characters, all of that kind of thing. Like, what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game, Ben? And you can't say Dream Drop Distance.
That is very fine. Nope, not a problem.
I love you.
No, it's Dream Drop Distance. What do you mean?
I mean, is it boring to just say 2? Because I think that's what everybody said.
I mean, that's fantastic.
You know what?
Like,
I'm leaving the call. You guys handle the stream. I'm out of here. Y'all Kingdom Hearts 2 fans. I can't believe. No, it's fine.
Good. Here's the thing. I like it. Because...
Wait a minute. Vanilla or final mix?
I guess final mix.
There you go.
Yeah,
all right.
I mean, like obviously, right? Who's gonna be saying Vanilla Cage?
And you'll be surprised, Jared. Like there's people that are like, Vanilla's good. Oh my god.
Oh man, right.
Yeah, that's just nostalgia. That's all that is. But like, no, I'd say too. The gameplay I always thought was really fun and solid. I never understood forms. That took me forever to like figure out as an adult. I'm like, oh right, I don't have to just hit X to win. Oh okay, there's strategy here. But like, solid game. It's nice and long. It's got some good length. As long as you get past the freaking tutorial that takes like an hour. Yeah. Other than that, it's like I think it's like a really solid game. Yeah.
You're right. Because I'm assuming you were like a Kingdom Hearts fan before working with Square Enix. Like, is that how that went? Like, you played the games beforehand, or was it afterwards?
Here it comes.
I would say before, but I wouldn't say I was a fan. I was like, I like the game and I'm enjoying it. But but I wouldn't be like, yo, I gotta go on those forums. I gotta talk to everybody.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
It wasn't that level, but like, and then like they called me in to work on DDD, and I was very much caught off guard.
Nice.
That's right. Nice. I mean, you've become so iconic in your voice, like since DDD. And I just gotta say, that specific sequence in Kingdom Hearts 3 where young Master Xehanort saying like your time in this world to Sora is like over. That just chills, man. You nailed that. So good.
Aw. And
So good.
hopefully we'll get to
of course
find out
you
what
work
happens
on
in the
Gleen
future.
too. Yeah, right.
I'm telling you, Ben. I'm telling you, you're. You know what? I don't want to jinx it, but I mean, like, I want young Xehanort to come back so badly. He's coming back. He's coming back. You're gonna come back. It's gonna happen, and we're gonna see him in Quadrom. He's gonna have the Shibuya drip. He's gonna have
You want some
the.
spoilers? Here's the spoilers.
Oh, here it
They're
comes.
going to incorporate Star Wars, and he's going to show up like one of the ghosts in Star Wars. That's what it's going to be.
Ladies and
Hanging out,
gentlemen,
being
you heard
like,
it here
Sora,
first.
use the
Yo,
darkness.
wait.
Use the darkness, Sora.
Wait, like, it's funny because can you imagine? Because like you're obviously we're Josh in here, but I mean, like, can you imagine that? Like, if young Xehanort were to come back and he was in Quadranum, and then for like they incorporate specific worlds that allow like young Xehanort to show up as a party member, but the only way he can is by like corporeal, like ghastly forms, because technically he's dead. So then like he does actually show up as a Force ghost in the Star Wars world.
I mean, I could totally see that. And to be fair, I don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility, because for one, we know like 14th existence, which was mentioned in Dark Road.
Mhm.
And
my
then of
God.
course we I know, right? And then of course we also have that Nomura art.
The
that
art
was,
in Miyashita Park, yeah.
That's right, which is very suspicious. So I don't know. It's totally a possibility.
It's so hard to
might
know
have
whether
more
he's
work yet.
just drawing
stream
stuff
all
and
week.
it's like he's just having a good time and it's actually canon.
Yeah,
Boy,
right?
everything's a rug pull with the entire series, I think.
Yo, like I'm gonna tell you both right now. I've been having literally dreams about this, and I'm afraid if I say it's not gonna come true. But like, so you both remember, and this is like the first time we actually hear Ben talk in Dream Drop Distance. The scene where he's like walking up to Sora in the cathedral of what do you call it? The Hunchback of Notre Dame world.
Yeah.
So I constantly have like dreams of like, for some weird reason, Sora and Quadram gets like blasted over to like in Quadram, which is like, you know, based on real world Shibuya and whatnot. And Miyashita Park is like literally right there. That's why like, damn, like why would you draw young Xehanort there? I constantly had this dream where Sora gets blasted there, and then he's knocked out in the park, and then it starts night falls, it starts raining. And in the same way as you would see young Xehanort, like as you saw young Xehanort step towards Sora in the cathedral, you see someone with an umbrella stepping in like in the same way, sees Sora, holds like the umbrella over Sora and then helps him up, and then Sora looks up and it's young Xehanort in the same way he's drawn as that art. And I'm like, listen, I kind of need that.
Yeah, so good. Absolutely.
That
And I
would
could
be
also see
neat.
like their ideals kind of aligning. Maybe like, I don't know, him helping him out to kind of take down the true darknesses versions of the foretellers or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think that's so cool. I would love to have him as a party member. And
See,
to hear
my
more of Ben in Kingdom
unserious-
Hearts. Let's do it.
My unserious ass is just like, instead, like his punishment for like doing all the dark stuff that he did throughout his entire life is he's stuck in like basically the real world, getting a terrible, crappy job working at Starbucks or something.
That's it.
And he's just like,
100%.
hey, yeah, Sora, I can't go on adventures. I gotta fill this order for a double mocha frappuccino, and I can't. I'm so sorry.
Like, can you imagine?
Sounds like completely empty.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine like Sora going up to like young Xehanort and he's like, "Okay, Sora, would you like your coffee dark?" And it's like, add some milk to it. And he's just looking at the other side. He's like, more. It just makes it the most blonde coffee ever. It's like, yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. Oh man. Speaking of dark things that young Xehanort has done, we went on this tangent. But Ben, have you ever played against yourself in Birth by Sleep?
Oh, no, I never did the secret battle. So
Oof.
all I know is that it's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
What's worse, that or Yozora?
Oh no, that because
Man.
it's no. I would say the mysterious figure because it's not balanced. Like it's significantly unbalanced.
I think like, to be fair, on Ventus and Aqua, he's kind of fine. Still like a pain in the ass, but yeah, 100% on Terra. Just with his dodge and how iframes work with that, it's not a fun time at all. Because you get attacked like so quick. There is like literally no room to breathe at all. I mean, there also isn't on like the Yozora fight, but I feel like they almost sort of rushed that boss fight out. Maybe they were on like time constraints. It really isn't balanced at all.
Dang.
So you're avoiding a migraine for sure.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said, Jared, like that makes a lot of sense that they did rush it out because like it's on the Japanese, what do you call it, Japanese final mix, but it was on vanilla North American version, right? But not on the vanilla Japanese version. So it looks like they were trying to get it done, but they couldn't get it ready in time. And then they made it for the North American version. Then they're like, you know what? It's fine. Just put it in the final mix. It'll be cool. Like they got Cyclone.
Yeah,
like
Nobody's gonna be able to
I
beat the
feel like
thing
it's
anyway.
like
It'll be
that.
fine.
I feel like it's like that for like a lot of the fights like throughout the game, and especially like the Mirage Arena secret bosses, like Square Enix trying to balance those fights around 3 characters. I believe Mysterious Figure as well as like Armor of the Master have slightly different attacks depending on like who you're playing as. But it still is just like you could see that they were struggling to design bosses where there are 3 different intended characters with all kinds of different like attack speeds, movements. Yeah, that's difficult.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And these type of bosses. But like, you know, I appreciate the quote unquote effort because I'm a huge fan of like how Square Enix, specifically the Kingdom Hearts games, they create these secret bosses that act as like a teaser for the next game, you know. And like I am like I eat that up. But we didn't get one of those for June Job Distance. We got Julius. Have y'all ever seen?
Julius, man.
Have y'all seen the Runaway Brain?
No.
Oh, so
No.
that's the short that he comes from, and that
Yeah.
that short is actually kind of crazy. Like it's like the guy who creates them like straight up dies right in front of him, like right in front of like us the viewers, because they swap the brains between Mickey and that thing, Julius, which is, you know, it's obviously Pete, but like in the role of Julius for that short, right? And then the scientist like awakens him by switching the brains, and then Mickey and Julius's body is like, Doc, I don't say anymore. You can keep the money. And he's shaking the doctor who got fried by activating the switch, and he literally crumbles into a skeleton inside of his hand. So I'm like, yeah.
What year was that?
Runaway. That was it was the 2000s. So it was like it was now
the 2000s.
Yeah,
Oh, wow,
if you know what, I'm gonna search it up right now. Hold up. Let's see.
right.
You were different back then, man.
Oh yeah. And then they got really different again. Actually, I lied. It's 1995.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still surprising. I would have thought like maybe like 60s or 70s.
Right.
or
The
something
animation
like
for
that.
it is like really good. So that's why I thought it was like the 2000s.
Yeah, late 90s, like early 2000s Disney animation is peak.
Oh
peak,
yeah.
Wouldn't that have come out at, like around the same time as like a Goofy movie too?
Yeah, it was like a year before Goofy movie.
Yeah.
Dang.
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
So
they were trying new stuff. I'll give them credit.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I love a Goofy movie. That's my movie, man.
So good.
Great.
I have a homie that's like, yo, so when they're gonna put it in Kingdom Hearts? I'm like, you know, I've been asking
When is
myself the
Max
same.
Secret
Gonna be
Darkness coming
getting
Yeah.
out.
I'm ready for that. Just give me Max and Kingdom Hearts. Absolutely, do it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I suppose if you want like Kingdom Hearts Sims or something like that, that would be sort of the perfect segue. Just like make that whole entire story revolving
Right.
around Goofy parenting, taking him to like a theme park and stuff. I'm down for that.
Heck
That's sick.
yeah.
You know, I honestly think if like this is like, if they were to legitimately tackle that world, I think it would be really funny if it was like one of those quote unquote incognito worlds where Goofy goes in there. He knows he's like, I'm Goofy, but like Max is still in this world and I'm taking care of him. I want to make sure he gets to school okay, blah, blah, blah. But then obviously here come the Heartless, here come all the enemies. And then Sora and Donald work behind the scenes to make sure it does not disrupt the movie like at all. And I think that'll be a cool way to tackle that world.
Dude, I'm just like, that's so hilarious. I'm picturing like there's a gauge meter, like disruption meter or
Yeah.
something. Like, and so Goofy and Max are like sitting on a bench having an ice cream, and you've got to ensure that the Heartless don't reach the bench.
Yep.
Otherwise, they're like father-son time is interrupted, and like if that gauge hits max, it's like the slow motion like zooms up on like Goofy's ice cream falling off onto the concrete. Max
It's like, you failed. Like, Dad, you
I
failed.
appreciate you having like that nice G-rated version, because I was thinking like the PG-13 of like, oh no, Max might not get to second base if this kid gets interrupted. Like,
It's like Roxanne grows up alone. I'm like,
oh,
huh?
Oh, man.
Yo, that would have that you know that sounds like I don't know if y'all ever played the first Spider-Man.
which one?
Marvel Spider-Man for
PS1?
Marvel Spider-Man PS4.
Oh yes, yeah,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, so there's a mission where there's like this hostage mission, and it's very macabre. And then like the way Ben was describing it was like when Spider-Man fails that mission, it's just like, oh, it's just gonna say mission fails. Like, no, it shows out a scene where it's like, oh, someone's here, take him out, and then they start like, opening fire. I'm like, oh my lord, like, so that's why I'm like, dang, that's why I'm
Yeah, some games do that, right? Where they like,
Yeah.
they show the outcome of like failing. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, it's good when they do
like
that.
like that game, like Metroid Prime, not Metroid Prime, Metroid Dread. There you go, just like, ugh. Look at me shuddering at the thought of like Goofy movie getting disrupted by Heartless. Thanks, Ben.
What did I do?
You're the one who
just brought it up.
described it. Oh, goodness gracious. So, Jared, I asked this to Ben already. You see the Sonic movie yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't, but I will get around to it. Yeah,
Get
I'm
around
still
to
pretty
it. No,
confused.
my bro, that is a
Make it a
priority.
priority, man.
Yeah.
No, it's doing quite well, right? Like it's the highest rated out of the 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Like
it better be.
86 critic rating and then 98 viewer rating. That's
Right.
that's
It is a
actually
fun- it is a
unheard
fun
of. Like,
Is there sort of like that kind of like foreshadowing moment again going?
I'm not gonna
into
say
the
anything.
podcast?
I'm not like I don't want to insinuate anything because like the movie just came out, so like lips are sealed.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will say this, and this wouldn't be a spoiler. There's a mid-credits thing, and then like a post-credits.
Yep,
thing.
there's
Nice.
there's
Okay,
two.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I'm personally waiting for Sonic 4, which they already confirmed. I'm waiting for Ben to show
Yeah.
up as Black Doom. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, that's not gonna. I don't think they're gonna do that character, man. I don't think they could.
I could talk your ear off on why they can, but I can't without spoiling the movie. So,
Well, because here's the thing for me, without spoilers.
Right.
What to me ties the thing together is ultimately Jim Carrey as Eggman, because it's like
Right.
you have like a human villain, and then you have the cartoon superhero character in Sonic and his team. But then it's like if it's just CG animated characters, it starts to be like, why is this a live action movie? Why isn't it just all animated? So like I'd be like,
I
a little
love
bit worried.
Mufasa.
It came out the same day apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. So like I
Yeah, no, I see that.
I feel like it wouldn't work, but
Gotcha,
like,
gotcha.
or just like a cameo would be cool. That'd be fun.
Oh,
If he
yeah.
shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, a secondary villain. You know,
Yeah, that would be okay.
right. Chat, don't worry. I know not to spoil, okay? That time where I spoiled Shadow being in the end credit of Sonic 2 does not count, okay? Because I was
Did you?
I was drunk, okay? So like,
Oh, I did.
so I said, it's like, hey, so the way it went down was I was talking with Chad about the movie. It's like, yeah, so yeah, oh yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog 2 definitely does have an end credit scene. And then people were like, what? And I'm like, oh,
Oops.
uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. So, but no, I'm chilling. Trust me,
I mean, I just can't wait for Sonic the Hedgehog 6 starring Big the Cat. That's what I'm
Let's
looking
go.
forward to.
oh
yes.
yeah, big.
It's just him fishing with Froggy for like 2 hours.
We
and that's the whole
gotta
movie.
say Froggy. Okay, so to cap up, because we have a couple of minutes, because I know we're all on the clock, right? Everyone's like, hey, why aren't you talking about Kingdom Hearts? Man, because it's the year of Shadow, that's why. Like, all right, let's talk about one Sonic game that either that is our favorite or one I would like to one that we like to see. And I'm gonna start, and I'm gonna say, listen, I don't care what anybody says. And Ben just reminded me of that. I would absolutely love Sonic Heroes 2. Okay, and add more teams. Give me a Team Babylon, Team Past. Give me Team Eggman. Hell, give me Team Dark. Black Doom as the power character. All right, so that's what I'm on. I'm throwing the ball over to Ben.
I mean, this is like straight up like self applauding. I would say it's Shadow Generations for me right now. I was horrible as a kid at playing any Sonic game. This is the first game I'm playing where I'm like, oh, I think I can actually play this game decently well, and I'm enjoying the heck out of it. So for me right now, yeah,
it's super good. Now, because I agree, because like, yo, it's literally become like for the longest I've been a Sonic Adventure 2 stan up into the wazoo, right? Shadow Generations right now is my favorite Sonic game. It's that good. Like it's like I feel Sega finally, Sonic Team. I feel Sonic Team finally found the formula that ties everything together the best way it can in years, right? So like continue this formula. I kept telling like, yo, use this as a basis. Sonic Adventure 3, let's go. Like
absolutely, that would be great.
Oh, absolutely. All right, Jared, what do you think?
I feel like this is like kind of not really my bread and butter, because I didn't grow up playing really any Sonic aside from Heroes. So like if I would like to see like a continuation, probably Sonic Heroes 2, as well as like a bit of the Mega Collection. But like Sonic's never really been too big of something that I've like really been into. I have however picked up Sonic X Shadow Generations, so like I've got that sitting there. I just haven't like gotten around to playing it.
Nice.
And I've also got like what is it, Frontier, whatever the
Frontiers,
one. Yeah. So I've been meaning to play that as well. I like the direction they're kind of going in, and it's cool to see it like kind of picking back up like the 3D games. But like, I don't know, my brain could never wrap around like the raw speed of those games. I'd just be running into like the
walls,
turtles with the spikes and losing all my rings, falling on my ass constantly. I couldn't crack it.
About Shadow Generations that they did that I really wish was what they did with Sonic Generations, which is for the 2D stuff. They changed the angle at multiple points so you can actually see what the hell is ahead of you.
Right, yeah, because they have that slant, right?
I love that.
Yeah, I was like, and I'm like, I
that's
can play
absolutely
the 2D
like one of the biggest gripes I have for it.
Yeah, and they figured out a way of making 2D, quote unquote, like 2.5D basically, and it works, and it's like really solid.
I genuinely feel like those old school Sonic games are like, forget Crash Bandicoot 1, like those are the Dark Souls of platforming. Those are raw, man.
Hell yeah.
They can really take it out of you. But I would definitely get on top of that playing that jet, because I mean, like,
100%.
You're out here, it's like, I didn't grow up on Sonic. It's like, oh man, here comes the guy who grew up on Sly Cooper talking smack.
Yo, Sly Cooper's that shit's fire. So hey,
you want to know? All right, you want to know something funny?
Oh yeah.
I've never played a Sly Cooper game.
Really?
Jared, do we have to take this guy out back and just
the chat, they're taking me out. Chat, no.
I mean, it's kind of hard to play those games nowadays, though. Like, they actually did all get re-released, though. That being said, recently on PS5. So,
absolutely. And it's funny because I've been telling chat, now that I'm starting to do like VTubing and whatnot, I'm going to be playing a lot more games that usually you would not expect. So like, hey, Sly Cooper could definitely be on the docket, especially if they're that accessible. Good. Yeah, easy.
So good. They need to make another one. Sony needs to like quit being Sony and dip into their IP graveyard.
No, I feel bad for y'all because y'all were supposed to get that movie and it never happened.
That's right, yeah, and it was turned into a TV series, and that got cancelled, and like the fourth game ends on a massive cliffhanger, and it's been like what, 15 or some 12 years or something now. Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, don't worry, if Devil May Cry 5 can happen, wait, it will be Sly 5?
Yeah, Sly 5.
Yeah, Sly 5 can happen. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had an amazing time on this revival of the Fifth Dimension. But as we are all on the clock, I have to make room for the next guest, and Ben and Jared have some place to be. So I want to say thank you both for being here. It is amazing talking to you both as always. And of course, every guest I have here, except for actors, I would be like, okay, tell them where they can find you. I mean, like, well, you can find them in the games and the shows and they know. But Jared, I mean, you need no introduction, but tell them where they can find you.
Twitter.com/thegamersjoint, YouTube.com/thegamersjoint. That's about it for the time being. I'm doing Twitch again next year, so twitch.tv/thegamersjoint.
Nice.
Yay.
I'm gonna put you on blast, Ben. So everyone go follow Ben Diskin over on Blue Sky. You won't regret it.
Hey, nice. Hey, thank you so much for having me, man. It was
thanks
so
a lot,
good to
dude.
finally talk to you, Ben. So good.
Oh,
Good
of
to talk to you
course.
too, Jared.
All right, so let's set up for the next one. And boys, thank y'all so much.
Yeah,
See you guys later. Good luck with the stream, man.
Yep.
So you haven't subscribed to HMK yet? Don't piss Zemnis off.